So you're telling me that back in the day when a mom and dad would split up, they would only give the dad every other weekend?
Yeah.
And people in those societies just accepted that as normal?
Uh-huh.
But every other weekend is only like 20% of the year. Right. I mean, that also means that by the time the kid is 10, they've effectively lost 8 entire years with their dad. I mean, yeah, that's true. Didn't they know the damage of fatherlessness? Oh yeah, they had access to that information since like the 80s. They knew that kids raised without fathers were about 4 times more likely to experience anxiety and depression.
And anxiety and depression is really just a small piece of the puzzle. Children growing up without their fathers, or at least a good, strong, stable father figure in the home or in that child's life, the stats are actually quite depressing. And look, I don't think that a lot of people realize this. And I know for a fact, me personally, I hear all the time coming from a lot of single mothers, they'll say they can do it just fine without a man. I think this is a popular, however, very damaging belief. And look, this is why I say that dating single mothers is a red flag. Something that I hear from a lot of single mothers that are currently on the dating market and they're looking for a man or whatever. They'll be openly saying things like they don't want a man to come in and be their child's father. That seems to be like their sales pitch, as if they're not expecting somebody to come in and take on that responsibility. I think it should be the other way around. I think they should be like, look, I need a man to step into this position, but also have authority over this area. Because I think that's why a lot of men don't want to date single mothers, is because when they come into this relationship, they have no authority over that area. And look, a lot of these kids being raised by single mothers are fucking brats. And a lot of men don't want to deal with that shit. They know they can't come in there and straighten that kid out because the mother won't allow that shit, even though that's exactly what that kid needs. You don't understand. Children need a father. I'll even take it a step further. I think that between the mother and the father, the children need a father, but they don't actually need a mother. I know. I can hear your heads fucking exploding right now. There is actually data to back this up, and we will cover that a little later on in the video. But for right now, look, hey, I understand you may disagree. Leave a comment. Like the video. Pretty sure you're probably going to unlike, as of so far, you're probably going to unlike the video. But please like the video. It's a brand new channel. I have 0 subscribers, so please subscribe. And if you gain any value from this video, or you know anybody that may gain any value from this video, share it. Any engagement helps. I appreciate the support.
Here are 6 stats on fatherlessness you should know. Number 1, poverty. Did you know that children in father-absent homes are almost 4 times more likely to be poor? Number 2, drug and alcohol abuse. According to a survey by the Human Department of Health and Human Services, fatherless children are at a dramatically greater risk of drug and alcohol abuse. A study by John P. Hoffman, published in the Journal of Marriage and Family, found that there is significantly more drug use among children who do not live with their mother and father. Number 3, physical and emotional health. A study published in The Lancet found that children of single-parent homes are more than twice as likely to commit suicide. Number 4, educational achievement. A recent study found that 71% of high school dropouts are fatherless. Number 5, crime. A study of 109 juvenile offenders found that the family structure significantly predicts delinquency. Number 6, sexual activity and teen pregnancy. A study published in the Journal of Family Issues found that being raised by a single mother raises the risk of teen pregnancy, marrying with less than a high school degree, and forming a marriage where partners have less than a high school degree.
And I've been saying this shit. This is exactly what I've been saying. Children do need their fathers. The studies are fucking clear. How do you argue with that data? The studies are clear. I understand there are many cases where you had kids with a fucking deadbeat dude that walked out on you, walked out on the kids. He has no intentions of ever stepping up and being the type of father that he should be. I will also argue this. Your lack of knowledge on how to properly vet a mate probably comes from your own lack of a father figure. You either had no father in the home, but I would also argue this. I also believe this. I think that if you are in a home with a father that, even though he was a reasonably good father, but he wasn't respected in that home, you didn't see respect given to him, mostly probably from the fact he probably had a wife who was completely fucking programmed and brainwashed by the whole feminist and women's liberation narrative, so therefore he had no respect in the home. So those kids grew up not knowing how to properly respect men. And if a girl grows up in a household not understanding how to properly respect a man or why it's important to properly respect a man, she's not going to properly vet mates, and she's going to repeat a cycle of toxic relationship after toxic relationship. But now, back to a really controversial statement that I said earlier in the video, that I believe that not only do children need their father, but I believe that they need their father. However, they don't actually need their mother. That's right. I believe that.
If a man and wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same statistical chance as children raised by just their father. Girls with no fathers in the home have lower self-esteem. No father families more likely to be victims of abuse, especially with single mothers. Children with high BMI more often come from fatherless homes. Here's something: fathers have the fittest children. That was really interesting to me. The more opportunities a child has to interact with the biological father, the less likely they are to commit crime or have contact with the juvenile justice system. Okay, another way to say that is men and women who are incarcerated, the population of the prisons mostly encompass fatherless homes. Now, here's something that no one else has mentioned, which I think is cool, and I don't really say this eloquently. If a man and wife raise a child, they're less likely to end up in jail, but they have the same statistical chance as children raised by just their father.
And the studies that she's speaking on is my point exactly. Now, something she didn't mention, I will say this: there are way less cases out there of single fathers raising their children alone than there are single mothers raising their children alone. But when they do, they achieve much better results. So look, I know y'all think I'm always picking on women. Let me pick on the men for a moment. Men, if you have children out there, you need to understand your ability and the things you're capable of, and you need to get your shit together. You may have to put chasing pussy on the back burner. You may have to stop kicking it with the homies quite so much. And look, the thing is, especially for young men, these things are more challenging. But look, the thing is, if you're living your life right, if you're holding a job and you're taking care of that kid, you will have time to do things like dating, hanging out with the boys, or whatever it is that you like to do, but in a controlled manner. You know, set aside a couple nights a month. You get a babysitter and you take homegirl out on a date or whatever it is. You got somebody watching the kid, you can go shoot hoops with the boys. Whatever. I'm just saying, there's time for shit like that. And I think we should talk about that more. I think we should normalize that in our culture way more than normalizing that women get automatic custody of the children. Women ain't doing that good of a fucking job at raising these kids. So yes, I do believe that men should step up in this area. And I don't believe that when a man and a woman separates or get divorced, that woman should just be granted automatic custody of the children, which is what seems to be happening in majority, which is also why I'm not a big supporter of marriage. I believe that the family court system is all fucked up. But anyway, that's for another video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Brand new channel. I have 0 subscribers, so please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about this subject. If you know anybody that can gain any value from this video, share it with them, and just be sure to tell them to also like and subscribe to the channel. All the engagement helps. I appreciate y'all's support. All right, thank you.